Oh boy, we got a response to a response video in the third person. I'm not responding to the person who made the video, but I saw this video. You got this TikTok from @ValueMen. I'm not super familiar with @ValueMen, but shout out. It's this. It starts with this woman saying, "I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships," and then a woman being like, "Dude, women are acting like men. Men don't want to be in relationships with men. So of course, men are only using you for sex. Because if they, I should play the video and then I'll talk about, modern dating and all this stuff and, whatever. But let's play this. I think this one's pretty funny.
Men don't actually want relationships.
Well, let me start it over.
Men don't actually want relationships.
Okay.
You wanted equality and now you're complaining that they don't want to be in a relationship with you. Equality also means the same. And since these men are not gay, why would they want to be in a relationship with another man? So you got your equality and now they don't want to be in a relationship with you because you bring nothing to the table. You're basically men. They use you for one thing now. Of course they do, because that's what makes them not gay. But everything else, you're just like a guy. So they don't want to be in a relationship with a guy, otherwise they would be gay. And since they're not, they don't want to be in a relationship with you. You're not respectful, you don't give them peace. Maybe try being kind and sweet and nice and don't bring drama into their lives. And don't try to change them, accept them for who they are and believe in them. And then they'll want to be in a relationship with you. It's not the fact that they don't want to be in relationships, they just don't want to be in a relationship with you. There's a difference.
Oh, that was great. That was great. I like when she's like, if men don't want to be in a relationship with men because they're not gay. And it's like, okay, I get it. It's a joke. But in all seriousness, there's an interesting point to dig out there and present in literal terms. Men, successful men, men in general, but not all men. Not all men. I'm not speaking for everybody. But I hope women understand this, because I've talked about this in numerous segments going back over the years, and feminists always get really angry. It was a story from the New York Post, and it was a woman saying that she was struggling to find a man to date her who made the same amount of money that she did. And the New York Post said, women in their 30s who have careers are struggling to date men in their same income bracket. And I'm like, you gotta think about the kind of man who would date a woman who makes, let's say, $70K a year and she's 34. I am not intending to insult women in any way by bringing this up. But based on what was said by this woman @ValueMen, I think there's, something interesting to point out. And I know I've done it before, but let's do another segment on it. Let's say you're a 34-year-old guy and you're broke. You make no money. And then along comes a 34-year-old woman, kind of attractive, has a job. Maybe you want to date her. And you're like, well, look, she's got a place. I'm struggling here. Does the woman want to date you? Well, there's a tendency, and I'm not saying all people, calm down. No, why would she? She's working really hard. Here's a guy who's not successful, and it's like, what's attractive about that? She wants to find a guy who makes the same amount of money as her. But this means the woman brings nothing to the table for the man. The man already has money. He already makes money. He's already got an apartment. He's looking for a wife, someone who can fill the gap in his life, what's missing. Women think that you can be equal. I shouldn't say women. That's not fair. Feminists, because clearly this woman doesn't. Many feminists don't. That you can come to a man and say, I offer you what you already have. Let's start a relationship. And the man says, a relationship, look, it can be based on love, in which case, people will share careers and lives and get along. I'm not saying everybody. But for a lot of guys, they're thinking, look, I don't need a breadwinner. I make money. I pay my rent. I want to buy a house. I want to have a family. I want to matter, and I want to provide, and I want to care for people. And I want to provide what I can to somebody else. But now men are being increasingly presented with the option of, well, they're going to be working 40 hours a week. Even if you had kids, you'd have to find a sitter somehow. You have to struggle with it. It's difficult. It's not the same as it used to be. Of course, we are navigating our way through this. I'm not saying every, or even all. I'm not saying every or 70%. I think there's just a tendency. Guys can't have kids. They want to have kids. But I think there's also the obvious that men tend toward jobs that are object-oriented and women tend toward jobs that are subject-oriented. Meaning Guys want to solve problems, accomplish goals, and work with their hands and things like that. On average, again, calm down. So here's what happens. 34-year-old guy makes $100,000 a year. Gets approached by a woman of a comparable age, similar salary, and he says, look, I want to have a family. There is a 28-year-old woman. She makes $45K a year at her job. She doesn't want to work full-time anymore. She is interested in having a family. She's younger. What do you think the guy's going to pick? I'm not saying it's good that guys do this. I'm saying it's what guys want. There was the old data from OkCupid that points this out, that no matter what age a man is, he messages 22-year-olds. Now, I got to be honest, I think that's a little creepy. 50-year-old guy messaging a 22-year-old, hey. But if it's like a fit, attractive, wealthy 55-year-old guy, 22-year-old might actually have no problem with that. Although I think it's kind of weird that, the dude's older than your dad, but that's on you. I mean, it's legal and it's fine. You do what you want. Women tend to message men their own age. It was crazy watching the chart. It was like 34-year-old woman will send a message to a 34-year-old man. But 34-year-old man is sending a message on average to a 22-year-old woman. Again, not saying it's good, not something I would do. But I get it. Guys, look, I don't know why people don't want to believe it. But maybe it's because society continues to tell women that the path towards social acceptance is to get a career and be the CEO. Work long, grueling hours in difficult circumstances, isolated and alone. And I think there's a tendency for women to say, I don't want that. Some women really want to be CEOs, and by all means, they absolutely should. If they have the merit, the passion, the drive, nothing should stand in their way. But I think often society is pushing women to do this instead, and it's creating a pressure. Where I mentioned this before, I've seen women on dating websites saying, I wish I didn't have to work and could just be a mom. But they're increasingly encountering men who either are incapable of being providers or a society that is demanding they get a job and support themselves. It's getting harder and harder to support yourself on a single income. So what do we see? Well, at Value Men on TikTok, you're correct. I mean, I don't think it's gay for a man to date a woman because she's a woman, and he wants to hook up, even if she's just bringing another masculine role to the table. But I do think that plays a huge role. Do men on average want a partner who plays a masculine role? I'm willing to bet the answer is, on average, no. The stronger dating position for a woman will probably be, if you are 30, you will probably have better luck dating a 35-year-old man with a job by telling him you want to have a family. And the guy's going to be like, okay, yeah, absolutely. Look, I got a job. I make good money. Let's have a family. I need someone who can do that for me. I can't do it. Think about it this way. You run a company. Every day you wake up, you sweep the floors. Someone comes in and says, look, you run the company, partner up with me, and I will help in also running another company. And you're going to be like, well, look, I mean, that's really great, but I don't know why I would partner my company with your company. We both run our own companies. But what if they came there and said, I would like to partner up with you. And what I'll do is I'll make sure the place is clean as a whistle. I'll handle maintenance and sanitation while you handle running the company. All of a sudden, then he's going to be like, that's a great deal. I don't want to be sweeping these floors. Now, to be honest, the guy could probably just hire someone to sweep the floors. My point is, if a partner comes in and they offer to do the things that you're not already doing, you have a full picture right there. How about that? But if you come in and offer what a guy already has, he's just going to say, I'm not interested. So I have to wonder. I'm not going to sit here and play stupid games about dating strategy or anything like that. I don't know. I think be respectful, be yourself. Women have agency and can have any job they want and do whatever they want. I got no issue with that. But I do think men as well, if you're trying to date, consider what it is a woman wants. Now, the challenge is, I think many women are just doing what they think is socially acceptable because they are subject-oriented individuals. And that makes a challenge. They may say, society wants X. I will do that. But a relationship requires Y. How do you do both? Well, the reality is, you don't need to worry about what other people think. You want to do what feels right for you and makes you happy. And my only thing is say to women, if that means you be the CEO and you be the athlete and you work that job and you lift weights, I'm proud of you. Please, keep doing that stuff. We need more of it. And if you're a woman who wants to be a mom and wants to be with a guy, and you meet a guy who's looking for someone who wants to be a stay-at-home mom, and that's what's right for you, then embrace it. Just be happy. And if you're a guy who wants to be a stay-at-home dad and you meet that woman who wants to be the CEO, congratulations, you made it work. But I think people just need to realize she's right. She says, I'm absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. I don't think that's the case. I think what's happened is modern society has offered up disloyalty, no-fault divorce, and masculinized females. I mean, figuratively and literally. Women saying, I will do the breadwinner role. And it's like, I don't need that done. I do that. Now, maybe you just need to find a guy, the rare guy, who wants to be a stay-at-home dad. He'd probably love to be in a relationship with you. But until people start to have honest conversations about this, they're just going to keep acting confused. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up tonight at 8 p.m. live, youtube.com/TimCastIRL. Don't miss it. Come hang out. It's going to be fun, and I'll see you all then.